What's going on? This is D-Spin Speeds. Welcome back to my channel. Tell me why I'm hearing that Ghana, for some odd reason, has a Juneteenth celebration. Now, I don't understand what's going on with this because most people in America didn't know, allegedly, most people in America didn't even know about Juneteenth until, well, a few years ago when it's officially a actual holiday now. For what I understand about Juneteenth is when slavery was over, there were still people who were still quote unquote enslaved in Texas. They did not know that slavery was over. So they found out on June 19th it was over. And it was an official celebration, of course. But Ghana, for some odd reason, let me tell you something about Ghana. I'm not going to Ghana because I want to go to Ghana to come back to my roots. The Year of Return initiative, to me, was nothing but a money grab. Say, hey, come, yes, we sold your black ass, but come back with your money. Also, we're going to charge you a fee to have a visa, even though we say you could come back with open arms. And by the way, the people will discriminate against you openly. They will say for Americans and for locals. So your dollar doesn't really go far because we're going to charge you more anyway. So I understood one thing about the Juneteenth campaign. It was all about money, still is. I understand you'll bring more opportunity to the community, but again, you're still opening doors for people to take advantage of Americans. Let them know the airport, and that goes for a lot of countries in Africa. I've seen so many accounts of people saying, look, when I go to the airport, they try to swindle me at the airport. And this is somebody who wants to go to Africa one day. I'm not saying I don't want to go. I'm not saying it's worth nothing. I'm saying that this open arms so-called initiative is really a money grab. So if I go out there, I'm not going out there thinking, oh, I'm with my people. I'm in the motherland. I'm thinking I'm going to protect my pockets as much as I can because I see that people look at me as opportunity. The same thing over here in America, but it's just not as blatant depending on where you go, depending on your friends. So Ghana, apparently, this is not the first time I heard. I think a few months ago, maybe last year, they were trying to ask for reparations. I'm not sure just Ghana, probably other countries too within Africa. But the nerve of them, because last time I checked, because I'm a history major, even if I was not a history major, it doesn't matter. The fact is that they have participated in the enslavement of Africans to the white people, okay? They were not just bystanders just holding their hands like, oh my gosh, my other people. Oh no, come back home one day. This is called the Salaga slave market. Look it up. You know what? You ain't gonna look it up. The Salaga slave market. Okay? They still have the castles for slavery. They still got people saying, yeah, get an African mad today. They'll say things like, oh, you don't even know your own history, right? But get them mad enough, they'll be like, our family wasn't sold, yours was sold. You know, they will tell you in a heartbeat if you get them mad enough. So, uncovering the painful truth behind the Ghana's slave trade history. Alright, now I'm not going to go through this, check it out if you want to. But a lot of people do not want to believe that Africans sold, or the African, now I know you could frame it in a different way, that Africans sold other tribesmen. So in their head, slave race was not a factor. I know you could twist it. A lot of them try to twist it these little variables, right? Well, at the time, race wasn't a thing. It was about tribes. So they didn't sell other Africans. They sold other tribes. They sold other black people, whether you like it or not. Okay? There's black people out there who still try to justify this bullshit. They still try. Okay? It's out there. Trust me, I know one who does not want to admit that. It's like pulling teeth. So, with that being said, let's see what Ghana is up to. What are they trying to do? Because for them to try to get reparations, even though they have participated, is just a slap in the face. You know who needs reparations? The people who you enslaved, okay? Not the people that because you lost crops. If you probably coming from a colonizer perspective. It's not that they want reparations for being done wrong. They probably want reparations because they don't have their crops anymore. Okay? Because that's the type of respect I think these Ghanaians have for people they enslaved. How dare they? I gotta see the comments. This is gonna be hilarious.
But Mr. President, I want to thank you for the opportunity given us to serve under you and to help make this a reality. As we adore the outcome document of these.
Okay, yeah, I don't understand what's going on. And like, I'm not about this whole FBA bullshit, but it makes this FBA movement sound better because you see people try to hijack things that don't belong to them. Okay?
Or groups, and maybe even have a political,
Trying to hijack. Four weeks ago, 2 months ago. Okay, so they've been trying. Oh, this was coming up a minute ago. First of all, I want to go to these countries eventually one day. I am a musician, so I'm gonna have to go to Ghana one day. Okay, I don't want no smoke, but I can't. I gotta call a spade a spade. You don't get to be the bully and be the victim at the same time. That's not how this works.
History in Ghana, new partnerships shaping the continent's future. Today's headlines trace a continent in motion, connected by its past and driven by its promise. We start with Morocco. The headquarters of the African Capitals of Culture, CSE, was officially inaugurated in Rabat in an effort to strengthen cultural cooperation across the African continent. The inauguration ceremony brought together leading figures from the cultural and diplomatic spheres, highlighting Morocco's growing role in promoting African cultural integration. The establishment of the institution in Rabat comes amid side also stressed the need to strengthen Africa's cultural and creative industries, pointing to the artistic mobility Africa and the United States, a moment that transcended ceremony and spoke to a shared journey spanning generation. Against the backdrop,
you can't act a slave with a fucking fresh lineup, bro.
Of a fortress that once witnessed the painful departure of countless Africans into slavery, the gathering honored the memory of millions who endured unimaginable suffering, suppression from their families, and the loss of their identities. Yet, it is also a tribute to something that survived every hardship, the resilience, courage, and enduring spirit of African descendants across the world. In his address, President Mahama reflected on the profound significance of Juneteenth, a day that symbolizes freedom delayed but never denied. He paid homage to...
Yo, this is not a good look, yo. This makes people go toward the FBA movement even more because you are hijacking something that has nothing to do with you. Literally has nothing to do with you. I get freedom. Yeah. Not from you. You one of the motherfucking colonizers. How you represent freedom when you are one of the OG colonizers? How? Now, I don't mess with Tariq Nasheed, but I want to know what he's going to say about this. And he said this 2 months ago. Okay. Now, I don't like Tariq Nasheed, but he does know how to argue back and forth. I'll give him that. He does know how to argue back and forth. Even if it's like senseless arguing, it's just a quote-unquote roast session and it's not really productive. It's just for his ego and the FBA people, black American people's ego. It's still something that I want him to see I want to see what he's going to say. He probably mentioned it in the video before. This is 2 months ago. I'm talking about from what I seen yesterday that's going all over the airways. How dare you? What the hell? Yo, this is crazy, yo. I can't. Disrespectful. Let's take a holiday from there and see what happened. Let's take a Ghanaian holiday. Okay. National holidays in Ghana. Let's take one of their holidays and just is it loading? What's going on? they say Kwame's Day of Farmers Day was. Like, let's just take one of the holidays and just say, no, this is going to represent twerking all goddamn day on someone's grave. Like, something disrespectful. Because that's how I feel about what's going on with this. How the fuck you are going to say, yo, we need some of that, so we need that. We need that. No, the fuck you don't. You have your own injustice in your country, but don't think you're an innocent bystander. You are not an innocent bystander. You are a participator in this situation. Okay? Unfortunately, I'm too educated in the slave trade, and not just the African American one. There's also the Arabic slave trade, which people just don't touch. Or when it does get touched, it gets a little bit of air, and then people disappear. The Arabs are smart. If one thing you know about media, all you gotta do is shut the F up, and people will forget. The Arabs have not touched that subject as of yet, because they know the moment it explodes, it catches steam, there will be a riot. There's, black people don't really stick too long on certain shit. They're gonna lose steam eventually. But they don't say anything. The Arabs. I know, but the Asian slave trade, Asian meaning Chinese, Japanese, Korean, blah, blah, the whole spectrum. Okay? People never talk about that. I know a lot about that slave trade. And then, by the way, if you want to be a slave in Asia, you go to North Korea today, you be an actual slave for a lifetime. Actually do it and save your damn grandchildren, your children, okay? Alright, so it's still prevalent. The Arabs are still doing it in 2026, okay? So slavery is still alive and well. It's just not as popular as before, but it's still happening, okay? And it's sad to say, but it's the truth. And then you have people who are doing shit like sex slavery, or workers. That's still a thing. Us here, we are doing legal slavery, which is the 9-to-5 trap. Alright, so slavery is still here. It's just not as illegal as before. But now, people are just hiding it better. There's a lady from Kenya. What was that? Kenyan official arrested for slaves. So, in Kenya, they have house slaves. I call it house slaves. The judge.
So unfortunately, I'm going to have to now arrest you on suspicion of keeping somebody in slavery and servitude under the Modern Slavery Act. So you don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned, something which later on in court,
Officer,
anything you do say may be used as evidence. All right. Sorry?
I am a judge in my country. I even have immunity. I am not a criminal.
You've got immunity in this country?
Yes. I have a diplomatic passport.
Kenyans still do slavery. Kenyan house workers. Okay? They still do slavery in their country, okay? House help. There you go. See that? They have house help. Okay? Kenyans, modern day Kenyans, on the low, they still kind of say because they don't treat them well. Apparently, they have to pay for their schooling if they do well for enough. But human nature, those people out there are going to do too much and be mentally abusive, physically abusive, okay?
Kama unanyimwanga chakula kwenye huko, hiba, usishinde njaa. Unaiba chakula yako unafunga kwa
These house help, you don't look at them as normal people, look at them as below normal people because that's how people do. Okay, in Kenya, they still have some sort of slavery in my eyes.
A Kenyan man has exposed his house help on social media after he found her hiding shopping items under her bed. The young employer, who seemed flabbergasted by the house help's behavior, is seen bending under the bed, collecting a multitude of items the house help had confiscated.
Oh yeah, a few bags of food.
In anticipation of the festive season, did the employer go too far as to expose his house help on social media? Kindly comment in the comment section.
Hey.
What's the comment say?
Hi, my name is Sylvia Machio from Kenya. I'm 34 years.
So, okay, this is subjective, right? You'd be like, oh, that's not slavery. They paying them money, but you gotta treat them like shit, okay? It's legal slavery, okay?
Today, let's talk about the first house help is gone. Like, it might be a no-brainer, but there have been situations where the new one finds the old one in their house, and it is awkward. Can you say awkward? Because, okay, there's a reason why you're releasing this one, but you don't want them to be, because now this man will look at her replacement and they'll be like bad blood. But, and which is really important, and
okay,
I like to do when I get a new house help is I like to be there when she gets there. I find that
go. Okay, teach you how to train the house help. Yeah. Hey, in America, you gotta clean your shit. You gotta do your own shit, okay, around here. So, I'm not jealous. I'm just calling what it is, okay? I'm pretty sure you talk about the lady not even human. Serve.